Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Gershon here. We're going to continue our work with suffixes this week. And we're working with the suffixes AL, IAL, and IC. Now, all of these suffixes have something in common. They all mean either associated with or related to. Now, when I say associated with or related to, we're talking about how the word is related to the base word. So here, if you see the word fictional, I'll underline the base word of fiction. Fictional means it's related to fiction, and it's almost giving the noun an adjective, a describing word. Same with our word burial. Now, bury, to bury something in the ground, is normally spelled with a Y, so you're going to drop the Y and add IAL. So a burial is actually a thing that you do when you're burying something in the ground, so it's associated with burying. And then magnetic, the word magnet is your base word, and adding the IC means it's related to being a magnet. Something that's magnetic is able to attract to something else, like a staple or a paper clip, something made of metal. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to read our words through our columns, and then we can talk a little bit about any words that we might not be sure of, and we're going to continue to look for the dropping of the Y and adding IAL when you're talking about adding AL onto a word. So in our first column here we have fictional, poetic, accidental, tutorial, heroic, patriotic, musical, and editorial. Then here we have burial, comical, industrial, arrival, memorial, rhythmic, angelic, dramatic. And our last column, magnetic, territorial, Islamic, alphabetic, logical, betrayal, coastal, and global. Now I do see your word here, tutorial, in our first column, which would not end with a Y normally. That's tutor. A tutor is a person that helps somebody else if they're struggling in an area of their studies. So a tutorial would be maybe like a video that you could watch to help you with something that you're maybe not sure of. But that is a case where you're not dropping the Y and adding IAL. You're just adding IAL onto the end. An editorial is something that, down here at the bottom, something that you might see in the paper, like a column that somebody is writing in a newspaper or a magazine. I'm looking for some other words that might be a little bit tricky. Islamic in our third column. This week you're going to have to make sure that you are capitalizing the I in Islamic, because that is a proper noun. You're talking about people of who believe in Islam. And I think that is it. So if there are any words that you are unsure of, that you do not understand the meaning of, please raise your hand and I can help you with any of those. I do want to point out one more. Territory normally is spelled with a Y so at the end, so it would be spelled TERRITORY. So that kind of follows the rule of burial as well. If you have any other questions, please raise your hand and you can start cutting. Happy sorting!